On May 7, 1915, the RMS Lusitania neared the end of her Atlantic crossing off the Irish coast, unaware of the lurking danger below. Captain Lieutenant Walter Schwieger, commander of U-20, had the liner in his sights and fired a torpedo. A sharp-eyed lookout on Lusitania spotted the torpedo's wake and shouted a warning. Captain William Turner reacted instantly, ordering a hard turn to starboard. The massive ship swung away just in time. The torpedo missed by mere feet. Passengers gasped in relief as the U-boat slipped away, its attack foiled. The Lusitania arrived safely in Liverpool, her passengers shaken but alive. News of the near miss spread quickly, sparking outrage in America, but not the grief that would have followed a disaster. President Wilson condemned the attack, but America's neutrality held firm. There was no overwhelming push for war. The incident was seen as reckless, but not unforgivable. The Lusitania's survival kept the US out of the war for now, and her story was just beginning. One ship's narrow escape had quietly altered the course of history. The Lusitania's close call forced the British Admiralty to act. She was swiftly requisitioned for war service, her luxury stripped away for military utility. Dazzle camouflage replaced her elegant livery, and bunks filled her grand suites. Lifeboats and anti-aircraft guns lined her decks. As His Majesty's transport Lusitania, she became a vital troop carrier, her speed her greatest defense. She ferried thousands of Allied soldiers across the Atlantic, outpacing submarines and boosting morale. Without her sinking, American outrage simmered but didn't boil over. The US joined the war later for different reasons. When American troops finally crossed the Atlantic, many sailed on the very ship that could have drawn them into war earlier. The Lusitania became a symbol of resilience and Allied strength. Her survival subtly shifted the war's tempo and the shape of public opinion. The ship that nearly became a tragedy was now a lifeline. In late 1916, the sinking of HMHS Britannic left the Allies desperate for a new hospital ship. The Lusitania, fresh from troop duty, was chosen for the task. Her hull was painted white with green stripes and red crosses, marking her as a hospital ship under the Geneva Convention. Inside, bunks gave way to hospital beds and operating theatres. Doctors and nurses replaced soldiers, and the Lusitania became the White Angel of the Mediterranean. She ferried thousands of wounded from the Middle East to safety, her speed saving countless lives. Her presence filled the gap left by Britannic, making evacuations faster and more efficient. The ship's transformation from target to sanctuary was complete. The Lusitania's new mission saved lives and freed up other ships for the war effort. Her near miss in 1915 had made all this possible. While Lusitania served as a hospital ship, her sister Aquitania braved the North Atlantic as a troop carrier. Years of relentless service wore Aquitania down, while Lusitania remained in better shape after her Mediterranean duties. In 1918, the Admiralty swapped their roles. Lusitania returned to the Atlantic as a troop ship. Aquitania took over hospital duties. Lusitania's speed was crucial for the final troop surge, while Aquitania's engines got a much-needed rest. This strategic switch kept Allied transport at peak capacity during the war's final push. The two ships, working in tandem, became the backbone of the Allied fleet. Had Lusitania been lost in 1915, this flexibility would have vanished. Together, they delivered tens of thousands of troops and saved countless lives. Their partnership was a key factor in the Allied victory. The survival of both ships gave the Admiralty options and an edge. With the war over, Lusitania and Aquitania brought soldiers home, then returned to civilian life. Restored to their former glory, they joined Mauretania to form Cunard's legendary three-ship express service. The Roaring Twenties saw a boom in ocean travel. Celebrities, tycoons, and tourists filled their cabins. Lusitania, with her dramatic wartime story, became a public favorite. Passengers marveled at her near miss and her transformation from warship to luxury liner. The three Cunarders dominated the Atlantic, outpacing rivals and setting the gold standard for travel. White Star, weakened by wartime losses, struggled to compete. Lusitania's survival gave Cunard a crucial commercial advantage. The weekly express service became a symbol of glamour and reliability. The golden age of ocean liners had truly arrived. The Great Depression hit the shipping industry hard. Luxury travel vanished overnight. Cunard faced tough choices, retiring the aging Mauretania and relying on Lusitania and Aquitania to keep the express service afloat. The two-ship service barely broke even, with empty cabins and cheap fares. Government intervention saved Cunard, but only if it merged with White Star. In 1934, Cunard White Star was born, and Lusitania and Aquitania became fleetmates. Their continued operation kept the company alive until the new Queen Mary was ready. Lusitania's survival was crucial. Her speed and efficiency made her indispensable. The ships became symbols of endurance in a world gripped by hardship. Their presence ensured the Cunard name survived the Depression. The era of opulence was over, but the liners endured. They held the line until a new generation of ships could take over. War returned in 1939, and Lusitania and Aquitania were once again called to serve. Stripped of luxury painted grey, they joined the Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth as the backbone of the Allied troop fleet. Their speed was their shield against U-boats, and they moved entire divisions across oceans. Despite their age, both ships performed reliably, crisscrossing the globe with troops for every major campaign. The Grey Ghosts became legends, delivering hundreds of thousands of soldiers to the front. Had Lusitania been lost in 1915, Allied troop capacity would have been severely reduced. Every soldier delivered was vital to the war effort. The two ships' resilience gave the Allies a crucial logistical edge. Their elegant pre-war lives were a memory. Now they were workhorses of victory. The Lusitania's survival shaped the outcome of 2 world wars. In 1943, Lusitania joined the Allied invasion of Sicily, carrying thousands of troops. Despite her age, she remained a prime target for enemy attack. During a night raid, a German torpedo struck her amidships. The explosion was devastating. The old ship began to list heavily. The order to abandon ship was given, but chaos reigned as she sank within 20 minutes. Many lives were lost, but her end came as a soldier, not a civilian victim. Her sinking was a tragedy, but not a diplomatic crisis. Aquitania continued her service, mourning her lost sister. Lusitania's long career ended heroically, serving her country to the last. She was remembered as a warrior, not a martyr. After World War II, Aquitania was one of the last great pre-war liners afloat. Lusitania lay at the bottom of the Mediterranean. Mauretania had been scrapped. Aquitania's final task was to repatriate troops and carry emigrants to new lives. By 1949, her long service was over. She was worn out and unfit for further voyages. The last of the floating palaces was sold for scrap in 1950. Aquitania was the only major liner to serve in both world wars. Lusitania's extended life had changed history, delaying US entry into World War I, saving lives as a hospital ship and strengthening Cunard. Most importantly, she provided vital troop transport in World War II. Her loss as a warship, not a passenger liner, reshaped her legacy. The grand old liners became legends, heroes of a vanished era.